advance. Come on! Full oil pressure! Yes! Oh, nearly. Yes! Yes! Well done. F***ing winner! Oh! Okay, the engine is in. Also, I have a new camera, which is ultra wide, which makes recording in this a little bit easier, actually. So let's go over what I've done. The crankshaft needs to go back on, as well as the timing pump. I need to get my exhaust manifolds mated up. Same on this side. And I'm also going to take the time to properly route all my cables away from those manifolds, as it is pretty tight in there, especially when it comes to the power cable being so close to the hot exhaust. So I'm going to take some extra care in that, and then I just got to hook my, put some oil in the thing, and crank her over. I'm going to do that with no ignition, just to make sure we get oil pressure. Hopefully we do. And then I can pop the rest of the thing back on. There is one other thing I need to do as well, which is to add a bung in here, which is where the old oil cooler would have gone. I've got one in the bottom, but I lost the bung, so I need to put the bung back in there, a bit of PTFE on the threads, so we don't leak. And yeah, it's I really hope we get oil pressure, I really do. So that's where I am now. I didn't get a chance to fit last time round. This has been sat in the boot for a long time. Is this Transdap spacer block. Now, they say here that it improves throttle response and horsepower. I'm not sure how true that is, although I do admit, you know, the longer your intake manifold, usually the better the torque. I'm not sure why they used horsepower there. I thought it was a rule of thumb. I don't know. That's why you get the big tunnel rams on, like, you know, the small block Chevys and the small block Fords that bring like the intake right up here and sit the dual carbs on them. Looks pretty cool, but anyway, I'm not doing that because I like it to fit under the bonnet, and luckily this still will as well. So this is the reason I bought this, sorry I'm rambling on again, is entirely because of insulation. So before, the engine was getting really, really hot. That might have been due to it eating itself, I don't know, but the high temperature of the engine was actually obviously then being absorbed into the intake manifold, into this, and then into the carb, resulting in my fuel actually boiling in the float bowls of my Edelbrock carb here, and the float bowls are here and here. Now this carb, actually, I didn't properly drain all the fuel out of it, so there is a chance that it's turned to varnish and my float valve, or whatever they are, is stuck, and it'll cause it to leak out of both of these overflow bits. So fingers crossed that hasn't happened. I can still hear the floats inside moving around. So yeah, right. So this is a thermal insulating block, and I think I bought the 15mm, 1 centimeter one. Not sure. And it comes with, you know, longer studs, it comes with 2 new gaskets, and it comes with stickers! As every American product should do. Hell yes, they are going on my orange wing with the others. Get the crank pulleys back on, the water pumps back on. I think it's about ready to crank. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I've forgotten. Oh yeah, of course, the remote oil filter right here is on and connected to the sandwich plate down there. Yeah, I think we are nearly ready to rock. Okay, no oil pressure. Alright, let's hit it with 20 seconds of cranking. I hope you guys can see that just there. And hopefully we get some oil pressure. Oops. It's building. Cool. Right, we've got something nice. Are they a ticky noise? You like a ticky noise?
A little one, yeah.
Which way do I go? Ah! I'm missing something. Something quite important.
Oh, that bit.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It is the 14th of January, and yes, this isn't good, is it? As you saw, I tried to start the engine up. It wouldn't fire at all, and there was fuel popping out of the carb, almost as if there was positive pressure in the intake. And also, it didn't sound like there's any compression in the actual engine either. So, I took all the plugs out, put my compression tester on, and suspicion confirmed, 0 compression. Damn. So what the hell have I done? Well, turns out I have, as you may have seen in the older videos, I have a 3-way adjustable timing kit, and what I've done is I have installed it incorrectly. Now, I advanced the crankshaft 4 degrees, which equates to 2 degrees of camshaft advance for a bit more low-end torque. However, when you do that, you are supposed to use the triangle keyway, which I did, but then also you are supposed to use the triangle timing mark on here with the original time mark on there. I didn't. I used the factory timings. Long story short, my valve train is out of time, and yeah, that's why it was just not working. Worst case scenario, I have bent push rods, I have bent valves, I have snapped things in my cylinder. There could be all kinds of problems. Alright, it's time to get a compression test on here. Got my tester right there. Not sure I heard any compression. Nothing. Okay, I suspect a few of my cylinders are dead. The input on a few of these are really loose. This one here, these front two, this one, and a few are okay. So I've moved the compression tester to a cylinder where both the push rods feel firm still. And let's see if we get compression on this one. No. They are loose. They're all bent. All the intake valves are bent. I've removed the head in, so let's carefully lift her up. Off. Okay, here we have the heads. This is the swamp head with the potential donor valves, and this is my head. You can see that's why we had no compression. All the intakes are bent. Alright, so I've got the the springs off. I've got one valve out. I've got all the springs off this swamp head. And the swamp term is still very, very good because these things are stuck in there. So what I'm doing is basically, I've been spraying these for about for a few hours now. Just gonna let that penetrate, and then I'm gonna give these a quick tap on the top, very, very softly with my nice persuader. It's very persuasive. A light tap across each one. I don't want to bend the stems or anything. Then once the valve opens, I'm going to blast even more WD-40 into the inlet, into the little chamber that it's in, and again let it soak, and then just literally very carefully nurse them out. I don't want to scratch them up or anything. And then I'm going to trial fit them in my head, and hopefully they slide in, and happy days. I will then lap them with the lapping paste and my drill, so they seal my head. And yeah, we should have a 1-cylinder head done. I've been at this now an hour and a half. So if I can in one night get both my cylinder heads rebuilt and back on the car, at least rebuilt, I'll be really happy. So let's give this a little while to penetrate, and then I'll be back with the persuader. Yeah, that's moved. That moved really easy. So did this. I think they bottomed out against. Yeah, now they bottomed out against my desk. My workbench, to say. Yep, I can now see the gap that's formed. Trusty WD on there, and there, and I'm running out of this massive can. I use this so much. Okay, wonderful. I'm just going to blast it through the inlets as well. And let's let her sit a little bit longer. That's a satisfying noise. Yes. Okay, real quick. This is a valve from the swamp engine. As you can see, I've hit it up with just a wire wheel on an old drill after soaking it in the petrol for a while. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. And if we go down here to to my heads, let's see if we can slot one in real quick. Perfect. It's going to pop actually because it's obviously going to hit the valve stem seal on the side. Wonderful. Good morning, YouTube. It is 8 AM on a Saturday morning, the 18th of January. And I am now tasked with fitting the inlet manifold, and I'm also actually going to fit this spacer plate. I realised I actually have some nice long bolts. I know you're supposed to use studs when fixing, you know, your carb down, but yeah, these should work for now. And what I'll do is I'll take my current studs, these bad boys, to the local hardware fixie place, who can measure them and get me some custom size ones. I just need them to be about twice as long as this, really. And yeah, should be good. There's my cat. Good morning, Siri. Cool. So let's get all this on, and then I need to fix my exhausts, and we can fire her again. Alright, it's Sunday the 19th of Jan. I'm finishing off fully attaching the exhaust manifolds here. They were only loosely on, hence the strange noise when I fired it up yesterday. And again, the same on the other side. I need to also reattach this leg that I took off for access underneath the car when I was taking the engine out and putting it back in. And also finish the hoses to my power steering rack and get all that hooked up, because I want to drive the water pump, and to drive the water pump I must also drive the power steering pump, and if you run one dry like I did, you break them. So I need to make sure I've got fluid in there, and it's all ready to go. So yeah, I'm going to crack on and update you when I'm done. Alright, it's 8 PM on a Sunday, 19th January. A lot has happened today. It looks like nothing's happened, but it has. It's been a pain. So I have the bump back on, the license plates, so basically it's legal now, right? You can see here that the wheels are back on both sides. So are the struts, so are the legs, so is the power steering rack. You can see also that I've got all my accessories now, so I can drive my water pump. I've got water in the engine. It's not yet bled, but hey ho, we will get to that. Alternators on, you know, power steering pump is on with power steering pump fluid in it. The power steering system is bled. I've actually gone ahead and replaced all the hoses. They are hanging down. You can see that the braided one there and the one above it. So the braided one is the low pressure and the one above is the high pressure. I need to secure them to something. So all that's left to do, see the rack in there now. All that's left is to reattach my anti-roll bar. All looking very nice in here, all brand new. However, I have had some plates made to space the anti-roll bar down 10mm. That is due to the anti-roll bar touching this, my remote oil filter housing. It obviously it hits the filter, so I bought this, but it still hits the housing literally just here when the engine rocks, just there. So obviously I don't want it to happen. So a 10mm space downwards would be fine. That will create a slight anti-dive effect on the car. The front's already lowered an inch, which means me putting a further 10mm here is going to cause a little bit more of an anti-dive, which I really don't want, but I have to clear this. So I've got no option. Now all the front end is attached. Let's see if we can fire her up on the key. Hopefully this Edelbrock fires up pretty much straight away. There's the pump. Sounds okay. Okay, so I'm going to close it out with a really short update. I've started to attach the fans, as you can see here. I've got 2 electric fans to go on there, so I think they are 14-inch fans, 2 14-inch fans. So they're going on. The main problem though is my hydraulic clutch on the gearbox. The concentric slave is leaking again at one of the unions. I can't believe how much stress this gearbox is giving me. I'm going to savour you the boring bit of me pulling the box out yet again to fix the lines. But yeah, I tried to get a clutch pedal and I couldn't get a pedal. If I can bleed it enough to get a pedal, it's a very, very slow leak. So if I can do that, I think I'm just going to drive it to my friend's garage and have him do it, as he can probably do it in a couple of hours with a proper lift and stuff. But yeah, as for the car, I mean, it's pretty much ready to go. It's all there. I just need to put I've got the see if you can see it under here. The spacers, I can't really see. The spacers on the anti-roll bar, as they were touching my remote oil thingamajiggery. So my roll bar is now spaced down about 1 centimetre. And yeah, I mean, I got all my wiring finished off, the headlights are working and stuff, so it's really, really close to being ready to go. I need to move my dilapidated MR2. It's in the way at the minute, so I need to find a home for this. It's the thing with cars, they take up loads of room. And yeah, so again, thanks for watching, and I'll keep it updated as usual when the gearbox is finally maybe resolved. Yeah, cheers.